Okay. A third kind of experiences is what Stan calls perinatal experiences. Peri means around. Perinatal is around the birth. So it has to do with what I was telling you before. It's been proved, and many people have experiences that has to do with the time we spent in the womb of our mothers as fetus and the process of being born itself. Each one of us was born in a different way. Some of us were born naturally. Some of us had to be a cesarean. Some of us was a planned cesarean. Some of us was an emergency cesarean. Some of us were born under anesthesia for the mother. Some of us were born with the umbilical cord around and completely purple, almost dead. Yeah. Some of us were born feet first, head first. Some of us were born like this. Some of us were born after 40 hours of horrendous labor with oxytocin and, whatever. Okay, so all that leaves an imprint in our psyche, okay? An important imprint. Stan, in fact, if you want to read about this, it's beautiful the way he describes the different stages of birth. That is, he doesn't talk about the biological birth, but he relates the biological birth with the psycho-emotional process of being born. And in fact, the process of being born is a process of rebirth. Because to be born is getting as close as we can get to dying. Some of us didn't make it. Many people die in the process of being born. They don't make it and you die. But it's not just a physical death. It's the extension of who you are as a fetus. Is the going to the edge of being at the edge of destruction, then suddenly make it and breathe and be born. So you die to be a fetus. You die to be a form of being that doesn't breathe through the nose, but is nurtured through the umbilical cord. And you're reborn to be a being that breathes and metabolizes individually, okay? And that has a correlation to a psycho-spiritual death and rebirth. So the way all the emotions we have to live through, the contractions, the fear, the anger, the excitement, the joy, the guilt, everything we feel as we are being born is part of our psyche and is somehow the platform in which then the building of the psyche will be constructed once we are born. And it will leave us some weaknesses and some strengths for our life unconsciously that then later, when we encounter situations that are similar, in our psyche, something gets triggered, and then you're responding sometimes in a way that is too big for the present situation, because in fact your psyche is not responding to the present situation. It's triggered by the present situation, but is responding to something that happened to you when you were in that process of being born. Am I able to explain what I'm saying? So, for instance, I don't know, you get into elevator and you feel completely trapped and claustrophobic, and it's an overreaction to an elevator. An elevator normally is not a dangerous thing, right? And many other people get into an elevator and they're fine, they're singing, listening to stupid music elevator, right? And you're completely like that. Okay, so your psyche is not reacting probably to the elevator. Maybe it's reacting to the fact that you were trapped there under contractions maybe for 20 hours. So your psyche goes like, oh, this is not safe. This is too small. This is not safe, So it's very interesting what some of this material comes up to your awareness, and the charge that it has somehow can be freed, can be alleviated, and you understand some of your things, some of your patterns. Okay.